Okay, hello. So today we are going to make a palm tree. Let's go through a supply list. You need a paint of spring green, territorial brown, and nutmeg brown.
Terry, can you pin my iPad?
So let me start over again.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, we're good.
Okay. Hi, so today we are going to make a palm tree. Ooh, how cute. Anyway, let's go through a supply list. First, you need the paint, which is the spring green, territorial brown, and nutmeg brown. Sharpie green, fine point, floral wire, masking tape, precision scissors, model magic. Any color is fine. Any color is fine. And then these are bamboo barbecue skewers, which you can buy it in a dollar store or Walmart if they have it, or sometimes supermarket has it. But those are about 13-inch skewers, which is bigger than regular skewers. If you can't find those skewers, then use Chinese takeout chopstick. Now, these are the cheapo kind, like Panda Express, those kinds. So it would be like regular bamboo skewers, but it will be shorter. So you have to extend it. So the best way is these. For quarter scale people, I found this toothpick, bamboo toothpick, which is called cocktail toothpick, which is longer than regular one. And I think this works sufficiently. Elmer's glue all, don't get the school kind, glue all is the permanent. In terms of tools, so the precision scissors, this is very important. This thing to cut the plants, the wire cutter, and some plier, pair of scissors, and flathead brush, and just regular brush, water. That's all you need. So let's move on to. First, you have to make a coconut. So you cut the wire about 2 inches. Cut the 5 of them. Then a model magic. It really, I mean, we will be painting later, so it doesn't matter what color it is. It so happened to be, I have a lime green one. So you make a ball. So first you make a football type of thing, and then you squish it down so that it would be a little smaller version of M&M. Let me do it again. So do it like this. So it will be like a football, and then you squish it down. So the peanut, smaller version of peanut M&M shape. And the size is about 1/2 inch in length. Just leave it out for a little while till the surface is dry. In the meantime, one thing I want to tell you that those skewers, put it in water overnight. And the reason I want to do that is it's easier to bend, it doesn't break. See how much it's bending? But if it was regular one, it breaks. So better to immerse in the water. Then let's just determine the length of the coconut tree you want to make. So the ones that I made it earlier, it's a bit short and I want to make it a little bit longer. So first that you determine, this is, oops, sorry. It's 11-inch box. So you would cut it down on 11 inches. So you just 11-inch, and you use this mighty plant pruner and just cut it down. So the tree size, even though it's flush, it will be bent because the palm tree usually is a bend at the top. However, if you want to have shorter tree, you can always cut it down. So determine that, but it's very important to do it before you do anything. To determine the size and at least trim the skewers to the size. Now, going back to the coconut. So you take glue. And then you just dip it. And then you just insert it about midway. You see, like it will look like the coconut, kind of like indentation on it. Then you just leave it on a styrofoam if it was not too smooth and it has like a little crack on it, that's okay too, because you will be painting it over. It's just this clay happened to be green, but we are repainting it on top of it. So, and remember this, that the Model Magic would shrink. So even though this looks rather large, it would shrink down to the size, I think. And you just let it dry. So now that this trunk has been cut to shorter to your length. Oh, I forgot to tell you, you need a newspaper. And you make it into a 1-inch strip. And you take just the end of it, just a little bit of glue. Then you just started to wrap it. What we are doing is you are making your palm tree thicker, because these are too thin, too narrow, too puny. And then you just take a masking tape and tape it. The reason I'm gluing it is it's easier to roll it if I just glue on the top. And I don't want to make this part fatter, because this is where all those leaves come in to fill it. The stem of the leaf will come in and fill it. And as I am doing this, so first you start from about here, and then you want to taper it. So you are making it start from here. So first, the second. The third will be lower than this. So first, second, third. Give it a break. Just masking tape it. I would say one more time. So you're tapering it, so you want to start lower and lower. Or maybe one more. So you want to take a scissors and cut down up until where the skewer ends. Now, you take wire, floor wire, 9 inches. Fold it into 3.
Five. You need 5 9-inch, right?
Yeah, so fold it into 3 and then twist it. To make a thicker wire. Now you can use thicker wire and just cut it down to 3 inches. But since then you need to make 5 of those. What I'm making is this part, the base, so that it would stand on its own. So what you do is you take 1 inch the tape, and just wrap it around. So you would have something like this. Now it is pretty wiggly, it may be. So then what you do is you take a tape, cut it into thin strip, like maybe like cut it into 4 ways, lengthwise. Then you are basically securing it by doing something like this. So in and out, in, 2. So when they are standing up, the wire wouldn't go away. And when you are actually putting into your tiki scene, then you can just tape it. And that's secure. Then you can just put the ground cover on. If you want to put it on a pot, then you don't need to do this. You just stick the palm tree into. Now you have to, so now it's kind of wrapped. And you see the gap because I put the wire in, so you just want to build up a little bit. So it's nicely tapered. Now, I want actually to wrap these first lengthwise, and I tell you why. So nicely tapered, kind of rough, but that's okay. The reason that I wanted to wrap these tape is that you are bending it. So you see, like about, so it's both 11 inches, so about half, 4 inches into it. You just take a plier and just apply. And you do hear this crack, and that's okay. See, I didn't immerse in the water, so it's kind of like really broken. So I have to fix it. You can always fix things. So if you tape it, then it will be fixed. But if you didn't have to mend it like that, that would be even better. Let's see. So you decide how much of the bending of the palm tree you want to make. So it's bended to my liking, let's just say. Now, So the way the palm tree is grown is leaf drops, it drops. So you always have this horizontal lining. And you kind of want to define that. So you see, these are the lining that you want to create, especially in here, the smaller numbers. Focus. So you are just wrapping to show the definition of the tree. And you want to do it all the way up to the top. And I would just say, like, in between those lines will be like a, I don't know, like one less than a ½ inch. So it's like a quarter of inch or 3/4 of an inch, and just keep on doing it to build a tree. And you see, like, I made a boo-boo here, which shouldn't bother you, because in nature, you know, some little kid kicked it or something. But if it bothers you, then you just cover it on top. So cover it on top. There is no right answer for the nature. So you do it till the top, like so. Now, the trunk is done. On to the leaves. There will be 11 leaves on the palm tree. If we want to make it more, you are welcome to do it, but just basically, let's just get this one down. 11 one. And it's in 3 segments: top, middle, and bottom. So the top is the shortest one. Medium layer is the longest one. And the bottom one is the medium length. So short, small, large, medium. That's how the layer goes. Now, out of 11, 3 short, 5 large, and 3 medium. 3, 5, 3. That makes it 11, isn't it? All right, so now you take, let's just start with large leaves. About 4 inches. Sticky side up. And 4 inches of wire. about. Now you lay it in the center roughly. And another 4 inches of tape. Just push it, put it on top. So you want to cut this. And right here, important. I want you to cut about 1/2 inch above where the wire ends. So you make something like this. The garden, whatever the square thingy. Then you cut it like a feather shape. Now, you see the tip of the wire, just so from here, you make kind of like a feather shape. This is pointed, and then this is more like a round. So you make you just cut it. You make a shape like this. Now, so these are the large one. Short one is 2 inches. Make sure you have enough room on the top. Sticky side down. So we are sandwiching. Sticky side up, sticky side down. ½ inch from the tip. You make this kind of square. Then from the top of the wire, you make a feather shape. And then the bottom one is more round. Now, of course, that the top, the smaller one is narrower than the big one. Proportionally, is always the same. So that's what you do. Now you make a whole bunch of those, 11 of them. Remember, 3 short, 2.5 large, and then medium is 2.5 inches. So it's just in between these sizes for 3 of them. Then you take a Sharpie and color it both sides. For some reason that the Sharpie green, for me at least, makes more believable shade of coconut leaves. So that's why I like to use. And also it doesn't have a buildup. It's kind of thin. So you see the kind of a texture of leaves more realistically. The only drawback of the Sharpie is that you get green finger. So it's kind of wet. So that's why you have to let it dry a bit. So paint both sides and just leave it to dry a bit. Otherwise you would have. So magically appeared already dried leaves. Let me show you how to cut it. So you take a precision scissors and let me explain it to you. If you could see it nice. So first you make this triangle shape, you cut this. Then you cut kind of like a tulip shape. And then you cut, so it's a 5 incision, 5 leaves will be cut. It's kind of like a lizard hand. And then you go down to the bottom and then you start cutting from the bottom. The reason being that is that I have tried to cut it this way. For some reason, about the middle, it becomes very horizontal. But if I cut it from the bottom and then the meat in here, then it wouldn't be kind of horizontal. It's always the leaves are up. So that's why you have to do it on a 2-step. So let me try. So first, you cut this triangle shape. Let me just fold it to show it to you. See, these are the first cut. Now, the second cut is that you're cutting the triangle. And then you cut to the center. So you cut off the triangle. You see how the 5 leaves has been cut. And these are the cut out pieces, triangle. Then you go down to the bottom and then you just start cutting. And you can make it as thin as possible, or you can make it as, well, at least about this thickness. So the angle of it is kind of like parallel. You see here, this angle is going that way and this angle is going that way. So these are the angles. So like, if I start from the bottom, then your angle from here and here will be kind of parallel. And that's what you want. And it is very forgiving, so. One thing I want to note is that you see that I didn't cut this one and pointing. And if I go back and I'll cut it to point because that would look much better. So you do it the other way, you just flip it. And then you start again, the bottom. And then triangle cutting. And my cat's wants the attention. Well, I'm busy. So that's what you do. Move that way. It magically appears over the touch leaves. So these are what you make. So now that all the leaves, gonna take a little time, has been cut, and these coconuts should be dried, which magically appear in dried coconut. Yeah, take spring green. And this is straight out of the, so you don't dilute it or anything. You just paint on top. Depending on what color of the your model magic would be, regardless, I think I should put 2 coats of these paints. So I have to wait until it dries and then put the second coat. It's not dry yet. So I'll wait till I put the second coat. Anyway, okay, so now let's just start gluing. No, gluing, taping the leaves. So the leaves leaves are the reason I have this loop, forget it, it's just one wire. It's just a little misunderstanding of my part. So I just doubled it, but just need just one to wrap it. So these are the old leaves. You start from the top three, which is just shorter, smaller. Oh, make a whole bunch of, cut it in half lengthwise. And now you take the tape and you just put the leaves, the wire. So where the edge of the wire should be, the edge of the leaf should be the edge of the tape. You see? Edge of the wire, edge of the tape. Then you just wrap it at the very top. So that's first layer. Don't bend the leaves yet, because we will be we have to paint the trunk. So the next one, actually I'd rather have a little bit narrower. So just a little bit below. It's almost the same. Then you just put five of them. Then the coconut. Cluster them together and then just tape it and tape it tight. 3 of them. The second layer will be 2. Cluster them together, just underneath. And then tape it tight. Then the 3 medium leaves. I would, for the last one, since I have a coconut on the way, in the way, I would make the tape narrower. Then put those three, and so that it will be just like one underneath. And then one underneath. Then you can cut those wires. To the point. And you just tape it to hide those wires. You see that the skewer started with this thin, but now it's kind of like gotten fatter because of all those wires. And now that it has this like a fat area, so I want to fill that. Then, so it stands. Then you take terracotta territorial beige and straight out of the bottle. Make sure that all the white part is covered. Now let's just wait a little bit till it gets dried. So, then you take this, just pretend it, this brown hasn't been painted. These, what nose plier? Snap nose. And then you are making a kind of marking, if you could see it, I hope. You just like gently push it so that it would look, it has kind of like a line. So it would be a tree, and then these are the tape marks, and then you're making these kind of marks. So that the tape wouldn't be as obvious as we had like indentation on it. So it was like this, the leaves. So we make indentation so it would look like a, then you take a flat brush and you are just dabbing just edge of it. See, I wish you could see this. This is the effect you want, not this. So you have to dab it so that it would have that kind of look to it. So if you just put a little bit, just make sure that it's just kind of like a whole bunch of dots. And then you're just dry brushing it to make that kind of like a pattern. Then you're done. So just push all those leaves down and shape it the way you like. Sometimes leaves has like kind of like a wind blown, so it would be like a one way, and then, but if it was no wind, then you would have like neatly fall down. And you can just like crunch it, crunch upwards, and then bend down, crunch upwards, and bend down. And that's how you make palm tree. Okay. See the palm tree. Turn it so you see the coconut. You see the coconut. Coconut. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day.